Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this a brand new day with fan on in the window, fan outside my door, fan down the hall, and again, wearing a shirt because I am both too warm and too cold at the same time. Yay! Hopefully you are doing well, and now that I've said good morning, I need to turn off my bedinger, which of course is just the
power off
Bluetooth speaker. But primarily today, I just want to talk about what happened yesterday and the emotional ramifications, along with further clarifications and talking about what I found out. I don't know if you've watched my update on the MRI and what's going on with my neck that I did yesterday, but with the MRI and such that they did, you know, and this is where I'm going to come in with the greater details, from about side to side, inside of your spinal column there, in your vertebrae and all there, and the little envelope where your spinal cord is. Boy, I'm having troubles thinking. But where your spinal cord is about 10 millimeters across. And so that's good. That's fine. The problem that I have, where I have stenosis, which stenosis is just is like you can have stenosis of your artery, where the artery opening gets smaller and smaller because you have buildup around it. This is stenosis here because it's a buildup around it and the area is getting smaller. It's just when areas get smaller because of buildup of things around it. And so I have stenosis of my vertebral column in there, where it would normally be about 10 millimeters across, right down at about the 3 and 4th cervical vertebrae, which is, they count downward or upward, I can't remember anymore. But there is, it drops to about 5 millimeters across, which is really tight around the spinal cord there. Right now, not dangerous, not a life-threatening thing, not a big mobility issue. Yet, the big problem that I have right now, because of the stenosis going on in the neck, because of where the vertebrae, the nerves come out the sides of your vertebrae to go out into the rest of your body, there is a narrowing of those two. So, from now on, for the rest of my life, whenever this gets too irritated for whatever reason, yeah, this whole nerve is going to have an issue. But the thing is, of course, this took a long time to happen. This wasn't something that just has occurred in the past year or two. This has been something that's been building up for a very, very, very long time. So it's not like I'm just going to be suddenly paralyzed tomorrow. But it is going to keep getting narrower. And that's where I started thinking, I really don't want to have surgery. I talked about this yesterday and during the update and such. I've had one surgery when I was younger, and that was having my tonsils out. Past that, I've had like a fingernail removed, such like that, but that's not a real operation. And so I haven't had real surgeries. And the older you get, the more dangerous it becomes to go under general anesthesia. And especially the older you get, the more dangerous it becomes for just normal damage. And you don't have to be older or in bad shape to just die. Because I've read about the people that go in to have a liposuction at age 35 or so and die. Something happens while the operation's going on, and clot travels into the heart or some such, or some complications afterward, and die. I'm 60. I'm not going to be awake while they're doing that. I'd be under anesthesia. And while this happens a lot with a lot of people, and I know somebody who is my age or even a little bit older that has had a whole bunch of surgeries, even fairly recently, like on knee surgery and back surgeries and such. So It's not like it's a death sentence to have a surgery. And there are people that are in their 80s that have hip surgeries to replace a broken hip. So it's not like, again, a death sentence to have a surgery. And since this isn't going to get better, and is only going to get worse through time, is it eventually going to get so tight that it starts doing things like pinching my actual spine instead of just making it tight where the nerves come out? I don't want it to get so bad that I'm 75 and needing surgery on my neck. I mean, as it is right now, if I go in to have surgery, I am going to be shipped off to a skilled nursing facility, which means a nursing home, into the Medicare wing, while they take care of me because you need nursing care, but they can't keep you in the hospital because, hey, it costs money, but they can't send you home because, oh, you still need medical care, so what do? Kick you to a nursing home. Yeah, even back when I worked in the nursing homes back from the 90s to the 2000s and 2003 when I had to quit because of my back, there were still people who were like 18 coming into the Medicare wing. And that sucks, to be 18 and be surrounded by a bunch of old sick people. So yeah, it happens. And I don't know, right now I can't deal with that. Not with everything happening. Whereas I don't even know if I'm going to be homed. I don't even know if I'm going to continue to get my disability, at which point, considering this and everything else, I will die if I have to go homeless. So, now I mean homeless where I've got no disability, no nothing, no way to do anything. As long as I can keep my disability and I can go online, I'm at least going to have a little bit. But, so that's what I'm looking at here, and that's what I've been thinking about, because it's like, should I get surgery now instead of later? But I don't really want surgery. Part of that is just plain paranoia on my part because I haven't had surgery. I haven't had to do anything but have, colonoscopies where they stick a tube up my backside. And then they shave off polyps from the inside of my lower colon. Yay? Past that, no surgeries. So part of that is, I'm just freaked out about that. But the other part is, it's been sinking in that this is, it may never get better than it is right now. And it's not great right now. I mean, it's livable. Like I say, as long as it sticks anywhere from like a 1 to 3 on the pain scale, that's just background pain. As long as it doesn't weigh any more than like 3 or 4 pounds more than normal, that's at least livable. As long as they're just tiny, tiny little springs that want to pull my arm backward into this position, that's livable too. I've been doing my best to try and do exercises, and when I went to talk to the person there, she did mobility stuff like here. It really is tight up here. It is pulling hard. I need to really stretch these out and exercise it because this is not pain from just straight nerve and irritation and all that. I haven't been able to stretch that arm out the way I would like to, and so the muscles are getting tight and the joint is getting tight. I've already screwed that joint up before and I had to stretch it out. I don't want it to get worse than it is now. Especially since I don't know if irritating it through exercise will make it worse. So, checking my time, I haven't had a whole lot to actually think about other than all of that stuff. If you watch the update, yesterday I got home at noonish and then fell asleep until 3:30 in this chair here. And then, oh my God, it was hot and got hotter. It didn't peak until about 9 or 10 o'clock at night inside of this house. And then it was hot. And this was with no lights on downstairs, no heat on downstairs, just regular thing like a refrigerator and the like, guinea pigs, and it was still hot downstairs and even worse up here. Even going outside 10 o'clock at night and it was still hot outside. So joy on that. At least I slept a little bit because it did finally cool down, and it's cool now, but it's going to get up into the 80s by this afternoon. So, and this is even with windows, fans, and all. I have the fan here blowing outward. I have the fan in my bedroom blowing outward during the daytime, and then I have the fans in the halls trying to just keep circulation at least somewhat moving. Oh, gotta love heat. Yay. And still right now, it's been, I don't know why, but this area here has still been feeling like I've been punched. Not smacked with a mallet like it has, that was further down here. But up here and such, it just feels really sore, like I've been punched. Thing is, it hurts on this side too. I was up at 5:30 this morning. Not because I was awake, but because both of my shoulders hurt so much. This shoulder, of course, hurts because of... And this shoulder hurts because it's the only side that I can sleep on. This nerve, my radial nerve, I severed some 7 years back because damage over time. Falling against arms of chairs, the pressure severed my radial nerve entirely, like rubbing a rope against a rock, and it snapped. It has been healing over these years, but it's been rough, especially with this irritation going on. This side, damage over time. It's the only side I can sleep on. So the nerves through here, there is your ulnar nerve, which runs lower, and then there's your radial nerve, which runs up higher. Both of these are sore over on this side, along with just the muscles. Over here, lines of fire for my ulnar nerve and my radial nerve when I touch them. So that's likely still going to continue, but that's why I can't sleep on this side. What with my scoliosis shoving my shoulder forward, so if I put pressure on there right now at least, it just irritates everything going on through here, which of course makes it worse. But I've been doing my very best to try and think about other things. I went walkies to the hospital yesterday and then back, so I didn't go at night because it was just too hot, but at least I got up to the hospital and back yesterday. I gotta go walkies today. I don't need to go a full walkies. I'm trying to do, excuse me, big walkie, small walkie, big walkie, small walkie, to alternate like that. The human body does, checking the time because I have therapy today, the human body does benefit well from a lot of intermittent exercise, where if you do the same exercise all the time, it's actually not as good as every other day or just exercising at random. Just giving it time, you actually do better than constant exercise. So yeah, I'm trying to do things to keep my legs going well because I want to keep my circulation as good as possible, especially considering when they did an ultrasound over here, when I first had all these problems going on, there is an artery that runs through here that you have. When they had told me that this side was underdeveloped because of my scoliosis shoving everything forward, I hadn't thought about other parts of this. When they were doing the ultrasound, they had trouble finding this one artery. It was severely underdeveloped. So that's special. Hopefully it never becomes occluded. Which of course is blocked. Yay. Still though, life is life, and I've been trying to think about creative stuff as best I can. I've been thinking a lot of different subjects, a lot of different characters, trying to think as best I can just to keep myself distracted. But yesterday, going walkies during the daytime, well, you gotta watch out for traffic and stuff. Even though what I did was I walked along the path that goes along this stream. If you've watched my past walkies videos, I've done my last couple walkies videos by going along this path. There is one point where in the video I showed that the water splits. This side is just a trickle, whereas this side is running. Normally it is a raging stream on both sides. The one side that was a trickle, it is now purely subterranean water movement. There is nothing on the surface. But the soil and the rocks are damp. The water is still flowing. It's just flowing through the rocks and the topsoil. Not the topsoil, but the stream bank and all that. It is moving, but just slower and underground a few inches instead of over the top like it normally would. So it's not thoroughly dry yet, but oh boy. Thumbs up. So, what am I going to do today? I'm going to try and be as creative as possible and continue to think about things. That is a definite good thing. I want to do some recording for the channel. I still want to continue playing Daggerfall. I'm having a lot of fun playing that and doing better than I usually do. I like the mods that I have on it. That's a good thing. I still like the game. It lurks below a lot. But boy, does that not get many views at all. It takes days for it to finally reach like 100 views. So, as much as I like the game, and as much as views aren't important, especially for a channel my small as mine has become, I still kind of want some views. So, we'll see what happens on that. Gonna try and stay cool as the day warms up. As it is, I'm going to be taking this off real soon here because it's getting warmer outside, so it's getting warmer inside, and I'm not freezing now. Thumbs up for that. So, it's 17 minutes. I want to thank everybody that I put up on this list of Patreon patrons. Each and every one of my Patreon patrons are beautiful and awesome people that help to keep me and my aging pet from being hosed like a literal Christmas monkey. Thank you so very much, because being hosed like a Christmas monkey, no good. So thank you, each and every one of my Patreon patrons. Beautiful, awesome. Thank you to each and every person who has in the past donated to my PayPal, or in the not so distant past, helped and donated to my GoFundMe. Because, oh boy, that is still something that's roaring at me like a freight train, and I've been having to use the money to pay for the Comcast to keep the internet going here. Still though, I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. And I've got to bring up my Chrome and then make the text big enough so I can actually read it. Too big! We have Jesse Koskinen, thumbs up, thank you, good to see you in the comments. And It's Relit. Oh, I just don't want surgery. I don't want, things to get worse, but we have Laura, EI4FS, that's YouTube adding stuff, but I don't know how much they've added, so thank you very, very much. We have Adonis Rivera, thumbs up, thank you, and yeah, definitely it's a last resort. We have Chris Ryan, greatly appreciated, definitely a thumbs up, and good to see you as well. There is Regulator, thumbs up, and thank you. RJ Mitchell. Oh boy, I wish I had good things instead of just the news that I found out. And then there is Jason Cunningham. Hey, good to see you in the comments, my friend. Definitely a thumbs up. 77 Arcturus. Oh, life is fun. It just never stops, does it? And there's Jan. Hey, I love those old 3D and 2.5D games. Definitely a thumbs up. Well, I'm going to do the best I can to do the things that I need to do. I have my phone here to make phone calls. I have therapy at 9 o'clock where I'm going to be talking about all this with my therapist. Because, oh boy, hopefully you can get done the things that you would like to get done. That would be a definite good thing. If not, don't beat yourself up. So until we meet again, you take care. Have a great day today, and I will see you on the flip side, and that is indeed a very good thing. Now, of course, once again, ending in this sort of silly and goofy fashion at the same time. Turn my hand so it's actually facing the camera. And this with the light.